here's kind of the situation we're in. That's the angle we got. You can see.
Yep.
Before we start corn harvest, I want to tell you guys about the meat we have for sale on farmergrade.com. If you remember back in December, we bought some feeder calves, and just the other day we got all the cuts back from the locker, and it's now available to purchase online. We raised this beef over the past year on the farm, and when you place an order, it'll get shipped right to your door, frozen in a box. From over 10 different cuts of meat, and we also have burgers and even beef bacon for sale. I'll put a link in the description where you can check it out. Now let's get harvesting some corn. Okay guys, we are starting on the last field of corn here. Across this field, there's about 65, 70 acres. Half of it's owned by me, and then the other half's owned by Spencer. I know at least one of this hybrid that we striped across this farm, so half this field did pretty good in our plot, handled disease well. The other hybrid should handle disease well, so this, I'm guessing, is going to be our top yielding farm, even though it's the lowest CSR2 farm we have. But it's pattern tiled. Our fertility's been pretty decent on it, so super interesting to hop in it. Got the combine here. Here we go. This is going to be super interesting with this pattern tiled farm. See how it does. On one of the wettest years on record, I can already see between two hybrids, one of them's super green, and I can see them striped, and the other has some green left into them. Pretty much when we've been doing plots, anything that still has stay green to it has been yielding the best out of any hybrid. Simple as that. It didn't die off, it held disease pressure well, and so I can already see that across the farm. So I'm guessing we're gonna have at least one pretty good hybrid here. We're getting into some hybrids here that I just threw in the planter, left over from our plot from the last field, so these are gonna be super dry. I have no clue what this corn is. It's a mix of like some 100-day, hard 3-day, some hard 9-day corn, all sorts of corn here.
So this is the tractor and grain cart that we're gonna be running. It's a 1,000 bushel grain cart, really big, Kenzie. For the past 2 fields we've done, we taught Josie how to run it on soybeans. This will be her first time running on corn, which is a bit different. Yeah, go ahead and turn into it. Yep, you can start turning. That's about perfect. So it looks tight, but there's plenty of room. It looks like he wants to dump on you, so maybe go catch him. So we're getting rolling here. We're having issues. Our tile runs pretty much right up here, and we're kind of unloading, and pretty much all the, I'm hitting all the tile lines with the combine. And that's why tracks are nice, because we're able to pretty much just float right over these tile lines. That grain cart's not sinking in anywhere, which is just nice to keep weight off the field when we pattern tile a field here. I'm taking out the end rows along the railroad tracks, which there's a bunch of giant trees along here. So our yield, we're running 140. Our average is 81 on this load, because I took out the rows even closest to those tree lines there.
And now you left me with this empty spaces, got oceans on my back, and I'm feeling the waves of all the love I have washing away to you. And I wish that I could take away the weight that all of this shit brings. I feel like you're across the harbor, really you're 100 miles away. And I draw my anchor on the shore, you're not here anymore.
Josie's pretty good unfolding while she's pulling up.
Josie just dumped the truck. She's going back to unload Spencer. Working good having Josie run cart for us. Keeps all of us going here. You guys might notice a new truck. So this is our new truck, Kenworth T880 here. It's got a Cummins in it, and then it's got a 10-speed automatic transmission in it. I know some of you guys won't like that we bought automatic, but it just seems like they're a little simpler to run. So I bought this truck in southern Minnesota. It had one issue with it that we thought was fixed when we bought it. So I had this truck like a while back, like 3 weeks ago, but issue came up with the transmission, automatic transmission. Was stuck in second gear as soon as we hooked up to this Wilson on a highway. Kind of a mess. Took it to Kenworth, big repair bill. They got it fixed, but the truck dealership I bought it from covered it all, which was like super good of them. So we're finally getting to run it here. Super exciting. Was good of the dealership to make things right and stuff, because that truck was undrivable the way it was. I thought that was really good of them to cover the repair bill. Otherwise we were probably gonna have to send it back if we couldn't fix it and run it. So far running pretty good. Here's a look at the inside here. Pretty simple, automatic. It's probably got 497,000 miles on it. Should work pretty good for us. The nice thing about it is it was a southern truck, so it's completely rust free on it, which is super nice. We do have to get some fenders, because right here it's throwing rocks and you can hear them hitting the back of this. So I try and keep it slow on gravel here. Trailer's been working good. I bought that from Mark, my neighbor. He had 3 of them. He wasn't using all 3 of them. He was just mainly around 2, so worked good to buy this from him. Super nice pulling up hills. It just shifts right up them and then has to downshift if it doesn't, but just super easy, super nice just pulling up these here.
We're running the combine now here, and end rows are all done. This is his third pass down the middle of the field. He's running about like 240 average, I think. Then Josie's in the cart here, and we're getting full. All right, we're unloading on the go. So we want to make a few adjustments to the combine here. It's still throwing quite a bit out the back. And then we lowered our fan speed. So then I want to get us empty here, because we're going to be taking a pass across the field. The brown here is Pioneer, the pink is Channel. Grant said the Channel, he reset his load, it did like 240-ish. I want to run the Pioneer here. Then you take, like, get an accurate number, you kind of got to get the combine empty and then start nailing. It's nice to go across the whole entire field because it's variable. And then I lowered our fan speed there to 820, hopefully blowing less out the back. So you can kind of see what we're coming down the brown, and then the 2 more solid green lines are a different hybrid, and we'll jump on that in the next pass. This number right here will be our average on the whole load when we get to the end of the field. So I just got done doing a pass, and the Pioneer ended up doing 180 on a full strip through the field, and then the other hybrid, these are planted 50-50 throughout the field. It's another hybrid, we're running like 245, 250. Split the 2 numbers, there's 60 bushel differences. So I assume we're gonna be around the 210 range here on an average. Such a big difference this year, a bunch of disease pressure, different plants, different hybrids will respond differently to like extreme weather events, extreme things that happen. So there you can see, look at the 2 yellower, lighter strips, and then to the left of that is the darker green. So, and then right now we're painting green behind it. That's the idea, and you can see the difference there. So this is our average load. We loaded them full, and yeah, hopefully you can pull up the hill without spinning. He's spinning. Well, it looks like we're full here. Even have grain in the auger. Every 40 feet is where our tile lines are, and there's a little bump to it. If we're full and we hit one of those bumps, we're gonna be spilling, and I'm gonna try not to spill any. We'll probably leave like this strip behind me, and we're gonna wait for those 15 acres to dry down closer to 15 or 16% moisture, because it's gonna be going to Adam's bin, which is just off in the distance there. And so all that corn, he will be storing in his bin and then feeding out to the cattle over this winter and into next spring. Pretty cool. We'll be growing some corn on the field that will go directly to the cattle and feed them out. This stuff right here is the good yielding stuff. 6 rows here. You can see how tall it is, and then it drops off for 12, picks back up for 12. You should be able to see it. On the drone, you can really see it. Now the sun is setting here. Co-op shut down. It's about 7 o'clock, and we're just filling semi. Grain cart will be done for the night and easily finish tomorrow. Grant's starting on open up another part of the field here. We opened up this enough. Now this field is the healthiest stalks out of anything that we combine. You know, there's actually green stalks here. They're strong, and the Devastators look to do a pretty dang good job, especially on healthy stalks. Like, the idea isn't to shred them and break them off. The idea is to like crimp them like that, so then they break down faster. We're in some of our really poor standing corn, weak stuff. It just like cut them like a lawnmower because they were so fragile. Topping off the cart for the night, and we'll be back in the morning, get this load hauled in and what we got on the semi. It's the next morning now. Sun's just coming up. We got a full load in the semi from last night. Take that in this morning. The grain cart's full too, so for the next hour or so we'll be trucking those 2 loads. Just walking around this morning and notice a little bit of leak. Whenever you got oil, all the dust sticks right to it. So oil's good. This is a Cummins here. It's got all the emissions. This is a 2016, so it's got DEF and all that. Well, this isn't good. The dreaded transmission fault is back on. So that's the whole reason why we bought this like 2-3 weeks ago and just got it yesterday. This got replaced. They were trying to figure out the transmission fault. Like, it took them 18 hours to kind of diagnose it and replace this part. So we drove it all yesterday, no issues, started up, hauled multiple loads, and then we're back here in the morning. It drove fine, shifted fine yesterday. When we had the transmission fault in the past, it only came on once we had the truck started. We're going down the road. We've never had it come on as we were cranking. So maybe the truck's saying, hey, the transmission's messed up, don't drive it. And so it won't start. So for a second there, the light didn't come on. If I just turn the key real quick, now it's on, and then it goes neutral and fault. It probably won't start here. And then the service light comes on. I was able to get it started, and it's just the low air pressure. It's building air, that's why it's beeping. But it takes about 10 seconds for that transmission fault light to have come on. And so I was able to start the truck before the computer sensed there's a transmission fault and wouldn't let me start. So that's how I got it started. And so far, no transmission lights on. We didn't have any issues yesterday. Drove it all over, full loads. I would really like to get this dumped. That is worrisome. It was like an $8,000 repair. Now, we didn't have to pay for it. The dealership paid for it. To go through all that work, then still have issues is, you know, not the best. I'll be sure to check back in if we're stranded on the side of the road here. Alright, no problem shifting, no lights, just like yesterday. And we're shifting through the gears. This is really the only hill we gotta climb. We can drive it right now, but still a little worried that still having the transmission light issues. And I don't think it's anything to do with the actual transmission, because it goes through the gears just fine. We'll take the back roads there just in case though on this trip. Well, I got unloaded, made it back. No problems at all. No lights came on, no transmission fault code. So I don't know what to think about it just yet, but we will keep an eye on it and kind of see here. This rock that I laid down has been working really good, and we've been compacting it real good. It's setting up real nice. Yeah, it should last a long time. All right, we're getting going this morning. Things warmed up here. We're in the good stuff so far. Since we started, it's averaging 270, which is awesome. And this is the really good hybrid. So big stalks, I mean monster stalks, and really healthy plants. So there's still a little green in it. Besides for a couple hybrids in our plot, this is the greenest stuff we combine all year. And again, this was planted the first week of May. Really haven't had any issues. Josie's running good in the grain cart. Really keeps us moving. Grant will be here later this afternoon. Nothing to complain about here. This is good combining. It's October 1st today. Normally we wouldn't even be combining this field for another 2 weeks, and it's just a crazy year pretty much with the disease. Killed everything off early. I mentioned that a bunch already. Probably won't ever combine corn that early again.
And sometimes it feels like I'm running in place, and sometimes it's like I don't remember your face, but I can't go back. Oh no, I'm writing songs for you. And now you left me with this empty spaces, got oceans on my back, and I'm feeling the waves, and I'm in this empty pool, washing away from you.
This is the greenest stuff I've seen all day. And this is running average 280. So yeah, holding 280 on our average here for the past few minutes is pretty cool. You can tell how much taller this is than the next 12 rows over. It's doing 300 right here. It's the side hill that actually is the best yielding that I can see on the drone and is the greenest. And I think Grant should get here in 30 minutes and he'll take a load in. All right, we're going along, no problems. And then waterway, good thing I was going slow and we just sunk in. This is the situation we got. I think we're gonna be safe here and get out of here. Nothing's broken, it looks like I said, it was a slow kind of sunk into it. From what I can tell, not too much of the combine, maybe this is the lowest point, might be sitting on the dirt, but the front axle isn't, and the head's off the ground, so we have room there. It's nice they make the bottom step flexible, so I think they'll be fine, but here's kind of the situation we're in. It's not wet or anything, it's just gonna be handy, and all this is off the ground. Yeah, none of that's resting on the ground, so. That's the angle we got. You can see nothing crazy. I don't think we're gonna hurt anything here, but we're gonna play it really safe. I do have my really big excavator. I'm gonna give it a little shot here. Try and see if I can walk out and be fine. So I tried real quick to pull out of the hole. I think plan is now to, and it didn't budge at all. It's just too steep of a drop right here. I think best way is going out. Same, we came in. I think it'll be easier coming out if we pull from behind. Even though the combine's stuck, we're in a sinkhole. We've gotten pretty lucky. One, we just unloaded, so the combine doesn't have any weight on it, any grain on it. And then this happened in a field where my excavator's parked. So literally the best recovery piece of equipment you can ever have. It's pretty handy, pretty lucky. Grant's going to get our big toe ropes, clevises. Want to be careful not break anything, take our time. Getting her warmed up here. Got a little bit of a walk to do. All right, we're raising up the rear. Go as high as you can.
You're good. It adjusts.
This is what we're gonna pull from the hook.
Okay, so we got her all pulled out. Luckily, Spencer had the excavator on this field, so that pulled out super easily. Wasn't too bad. All it needed was a little yank, but this must have been one of our tile starter holes. We don't think it's actually the main that we put in. It's one of the starter holes, which is really close to the main. So we gotta dig it up and make sure we didn't damage any of the new main we installed here at all. So we'll figure it out. We knew there was gonna be a lot of issues with this waterway. It was gonna be rough, but that's kind of how it went. So we're gonna keep running on harvest here.
Nothing broken, that's how we like it. The only thing is we bent some rubber. Pretty lucky, didn't have to pull really hard on it. We will stay away from there. So we're going again here, no issues, everything's running just fine. If I was flying into that waterway, that probably could have been a pretty big problem. Possibly could have broke something if you had a lot of momentum. And then also if we had a lot of grain in the tank, we've been purposefully staying light going through there just because we knew there's a chance a sinkhole could be there and we couldn't see it, or sometimes even if you walked it, you wouldn't see it with your feet, but the combine would sink into it. So in hindsight, should have walked that waterway. I knew there could have been one there. Good lesson for the future, and thankful that we didn't break anything. Right, we're filling the wagon here. Yeah. Pretty crazy how good it's yielding right here. A lot of 300s flashing. There's 400. First time I've seen that. 375, 330. Can't watch it too close, but load average right now is running 288. That's pretty awesome. Wherever it's green, it's 300 bushel. Literally any green to it, or a lot of green to it, it's 300 bushel. By October 1st, pretty crazy. Wonder what it would be like if there was no disease. All right, we are done with the field. Last load. Well, we're gonna be taking this load on the 700 bushel on this wagon. The rest of that will go on the semi. Grant will be back in a minute.
The last of the grain is getting loaded here. We don't have much in the grain cart, but we're just chopping her off and getting her out here. We've got about 13 acres we saved because Adam, our neighbor, is gonna take like 3,000 of those and fill a bin, and we're gonna use some of that for corn feed for next year's cattle. So stuff's running 20% probably. We're gonna let it dry down to 16, 17% and then put it in his bin with a fan on it. So that'll probably be a week from now, but we got 12, 15 acres left, but we're pretty much gonna be done for now and then come back and whenever it's dry and harvest the rest is the plan here.
Actually, your neighbor in the red semi, and then Grant and Josie in our semi there. So last load going in. Old yellow looks good as long as she keeps running.
This is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this harvest video. I think it's probably around 210 to 215. One of the hybrids is running in the 240 to 270 range of strips across the field. Other hybrids running 180 to 210. I wish we planted the one hybrid a lot more on this farm, because this farm would be really good. And it's so consistent across here. Like, all the wet spots are gone off this farm, and the best spots on this farm are actually the ones that were the worst spots all the past years, because now they can actually raise a crop on those spots, and there's a ridiculous amount of fertility in there because it never raised a crop previously before because it sat too wet. So super interesting to see.